My credit repair journey began after my bankruptcy, but it wasn't by choice. It was more by need. It was by necessity. At the time, we lived in a 750 square foot apartment. We had our second baby, and it was COVID time. And we were trying to move into a bigger place, but there was no bigger places available because of the pandemic and because of our credit. At this time, I did have more of a steady income, but we really didn't have any options because of the fact that our credit was just basically trash. And I remember my wife, bless her heart, having the toughest time because during COVID, all parks were closed and we had these two beautiful young boys in the apartment running from one side of the door to the other side to use as their playground. And my wife would just be completely heartbroken that we couldn't have enough space for our kids to play, that we couldn't have a bigger space for our kids to play. I remember being summer and the pool in the apartment complex was closed. So we somehow managed to buy a little kiddie pool, and we lived in the second floor of the apartment complex. And we would fill that kiddie pool up with water, and that was where our kids had fun. That was as much fun as we could provide at that spot, not only based on our life decisions, but also on the outcome of those life decisions, on credit, and also on the income that we were making. You really don't know how much your own life decisions impact the other people around you until you actually stop by and look at everything that your kids are doing, everything that your parents are doing. And if you don't want to do an effort to better yourself, that's okay. I've been there too. Do an effort to better the life of your children. It takes a lot of guts to say, I'm in a place where I need help. It takes a lot of guts to say, like, all of my life choices had led me to the result that I have today. And at the end of the day, when you try, different doors in life open up. It's like a universal law where, like, you go and you attempt to do something different and you fail, and then you keep going and then you fail and you keep going and you fail. For us, that was our credit. Like, how do we fix our credit? How do we make income? And we kept failing at it. And then suddenly something happened, right? I remember, one of the things that my wife had in her credit was after the birth of our second child, she received 2 different collections. Once he was 9 months old, she received a collection from the hospital for about $2,300, another one for the same hospital for about $500. It's like, okay, how do we get these challenged? How do we remove them from the credit report? And that's where we begin the hunt for, like, medical collection removal. And one thing led to another. And I could tell you, one failure led to another. And then suddenly, the next time that we tried, it was removed. And it was like, okay, like it was just a consistency. It wasn't that I became smarter. It was just a consistency of like, okay, this failed, what else can I do? Oh, this failed, what else can I do? And I feel like this is where most of us as parents or as human beings sometimes just give up. We're reluctant to say, hey, or we refuse to say, hey, I can do something to better my life situation. And there's a lot of people that will like sit and blame others for it. We could have done that and say, hey, due to my dad's brain tumor, I lost my job. Hey, due to me losing my job, I declared Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and we can't move out of this little 750 square foot 2-bedroom apartment. I can't give my kids a bigger place to play in. All of the playgrounds are closed because of COVID, but instead we just tried. And we knew like, hey, like if we're gonna try to change our life and our credit, it's not gonna be so simple. It's not that simple, Karen. You have to understand that, right? Anything that's ever gonna be worth achieving in life is gonna take a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of effort, and a lot of failures to get there. It's a universal law that you're gonna go through, but on the other side is the reward. For us, the reward was much bigger than we ever anticipated. All we wanted to do was just try to fix our credit so we can give our kids a bigger place to play in their own room, an actual living room for ourselves. And because it was like a living room connected to a kitchen. We didn't have a backyard. We had a little balcony where the kids had their own little kiddie pool in. Oh my gosh, getting the water out of that kiddie pool was a nightmare, by the way, because we always had to warn all of the neighbors, don't come out of your place. we're tossing a bunch of water out. For us, our reward for trying so hard and failing so hard became into teaching other people how to do this on their own, or teaching you, hey, there's ways to fix mistakes from the past. And it all begins with making an effort. So if you're listening to this message today, not because I'm trying to sell you on credit repair, it's because I'm trying to sell you to believe in yourself. Everything that's ever gonna happen that's gonna be positive is because you did something to get yourself into that positive situation. Life doesn't just gift you positive things. You do so by helping others. My name is Ricardo Soto and I'm a board certified credit score consultant. If you are enjoying this message, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you're aware every time we drop a new video. Within this channel, we're gonna drop different types of gems regarding how to increase your credit score, regarding how you should look at your credit report, and what you should do to make your credit file a lot more attractive or lendable to banks and lenders whenever you're applying for credit, whether it's for a new home, for an auto loan, a credit card, or anything you wish to apply for. Thank you.